Hey guys, I'm back at my parents' house today, and I'm out here by my 1957 Lincoln Premier. Now, as you can see, it's still under the cover, and that's because I haven't touched this car since December. I haven't been here for 6 months, and my parents don't drive my cars while I'm away, so it's just been sitting here. And today we're going to have a look at it, and I'll take the tarp off and show it to you guys, and hopefully we'll start it up and there won't be any problems with it. But, after 6 months, you never know. So we'll just see how this video goes. Now, I got this car, I want to say around 2010 or maybe 2011. And I just bought it from a gentleman off Craigslist, actually. And he had it in his garage, and I guess it was originally his dad's car, and his dad had passed away, and the car had just been sitting in the garage for about 15 years, he said. And he had blown the transmission out, and that's why the car hadn't been moved or anything. So when I came to take a look at it, I was just really impressed. I'm like, wow, everything is original on this car. It hasn't been monkeyed with, and it's just kind of a survivor, I guess. So what I did was I just kind of checked everything out and made sure, that it was worth fixing, because, sometimes these old cars, you get into them and it's just like a mountain of money you're going to spend on repairing everything. And luckily, the guy's dad had already rebuilt the engine, so that was done. And it was just really the transmission and the brakes that needed work. So I got it towed out of this guy's garage and had it taken right to the transmission shop where they rebuilt the transmission. And after that, I got it back, and the car had been sitting so long, I just ran into kind of more problems than I thought. I needed to get the brakes rebuilt, the brake booster inside, and that was probably the hardest thing, just because no one knows how to work on these old brake boosters anymore. So here you can see right there. But we eventually got that fixed and rebuilt, and now the car stops, which is good. And the engine didn't need too much work. I just tuned it up, and I redid the seals on the valve covers here, on these valve covers. I had to get the carburetor rebuilt too. But everything else was, decent. I had to rebuild some heater hoses that had gone bad and were leaking. Oh, and I guess the power steering was leaking too. I had to rebuild the hoses on that little guy. But still got the original power steering pump and original fuel pump, and we got the original factory air in there, which does not work anymore, unfortunately. And the wiring is kind of going out, but it's still running, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much at this point. This is kind of a work in progress car. I've probably got about halfway done restoring it, but there's still a lot of stuff that I want to do on it to just get it to be, where I want it. But right now I've got all the mechanicals sorted out for the most part. So the car is drivable, luckily. And every time I come back to my parents' house, I just kind of make sure it's still got oil in there. Yep, still looks good. No leaking. That's the first thing I always check before I start it, just make sure it has oil in it. And let's check the water too, make sure it's got enough heat and water cooler in there. Let's see, I can't really see. Well, the camera can't pick it up, but I can see with my eye that it's full. So yeah, we are in good shape. Yeah, after a couple of years, I have this car pretty much sorted out where it's actually a very reliable car. I usually just get in it and start it up, and the battery's still there, and the car just starts up after a little bit. So, yeah, let me show you a little more, I guess. What I call this car the Batmobile, because when I took it into the the tire shop to get the brake work done and put new tires on it and stuff. All the guys there were excited. They were calling it the Batmobile. So that's what I call it now. And I got these nice wide white walls to put on there. So we are running safely. Now, as you can see, the car is pretty dirty right now. It's been under the cover without being washed. And it's got some scuffs and scrapes. I mean, it's not a show car, really. Well, I mean, I've taken it to a few shows and people appreciate it, but it's not like one of these Barrett Jackson cars, for sure. And, I will show you why it's called the Batmobile. We got these awesome 50s style fins on the back. And we got a nice big cobweb. That's nice. Got a stick here, take that off. Always don't know what to expect, really. Yeah, this car's really dirty now, too. But, let me show you the trunk. So we got the original California license plate there still. This car's been in California its whole life. I actually bought it in Fremont. So not even too far away from where I grew up here. And we got a nice big trunk. It's kind of dirty, too. But, you can see they put this, like, cool plaid carpeting in there originally. And there's your spare tire there. And these are some old books and stuff that I don't have a place for, so I stuck them in there. And let's see. This is where you put the gas in. You put it behind the license plate there. And let me show you the inside, too. Now, on this Premier, they had a convertible model, a coupe model with 2 doors, and a sedan model. And this is the sedan. And as you can see, this is probably the worst thing that I need to repair next, is the seats are just almost completely gone. These are the original leather seats, the dual color seats here. The back ones are still in, they're holding together at least, but I need to just really get this car's interior all redone. Get new leather and stuff on the seats. But headliner's in pretty good shape. It's not falling down or anything. Oh, and if you're wondering what those tubes running back are there, from where it looks like the trunk area up into the ceiling, that is actually venting for the air conditioner. So you have air conditioner vents blowing down on the back passengers. And the back seats here have a little vent window in back there, and then they can just roll down the windows with the power windows there. And this car had a lot of features for 1957. You got power windows all around, and here in the front you see you got power wing windows even too. And I think that originally had power locks, but I don't think they work anymore. The car's electronics the wires are kind of wearing out, so there's some things that just aren't working anymore. But it's got a little padded dash here. I think that was an option. They called it, like a safety feature. And it has factory seatbelts even too, which is kind of rare for 1957. They're made by the Irving Airchute Company, so it's like parachute manufacturer. And here we got our dash here. You can see we got a ginormous bus steering wheel here with the Premier symbol in the middle there. And the chrome on it is okay, still a little, what do they say, patinaed now. But everything inside is a lot nicer than you'd expect for a car so old. And here's your heater controls here. You got AC, heat, vent. This is your defroster switch. This is your heater switch. You got your headlights. These, I think, are just the lights for the dash. You can adjust them or something, which aren't working right now. And this is how you just turn the interior lights on. That's your ignition. And this is the old school radio here, which does not work either. And if you wanted to turn your air conditioning on, you just flip this little guy and it starts just going by itself. And this switch, I forget what it does. I think What does that do? Actually, I totally forget. That might be the power lock button, actually, where you open all the doors with this guy. A little ashtray, little glove box, which needs some cleaning here. It looks like they had some kind of sticker stuck on there. And let's see, there might be a radio speaker under there, I'm not exactly sure. And oh, here's all your power window controls here. These do all the four regular windows. And then on the side here, these are your vent windows here. And you got your little mirror adjust. You can adjust the outside mirror there. I need to adjust that doesn't work so well. And you got little lights on the side doors here. So that's the inside. Now let me see if there's anything else I want to show you before we start it up here. Well, let me just do a little walk around, I guess, so you can see the car a little better. This car is very large. I think it's about over 18 feet long. It's like 18 and a half feet long. But surprisingly, it's not too bad to park. You got power steering and you can see out of everything pretty well. And when you look backwards to back up and park, you can tell just like looking at your fins here where the ends of your car is. So it's actually pretty easy to back up and fit into a spot. Well, I feel bad this car is just, out here under the trees. I mean, at least I got a cover on it. But, I'm constantly worried if these branches are going to fall down and break a window or something. Yeah, someday I'd like to just get my own Jay Leno style garage, and have all my cars in it. But for now, this is where we're at, just storing them at the folks' house and coming and visiting them every now and then. So whenever I'm here, there's usually something I got to do on them just to kind of keep them maintained. But I try to keep them going, and I don't want them to just sit here and be, eyesores eventually. All right, so we'll see if this bad boy starts up. 6 months waiting. This might be a disappointment. We'll see. All right, first thing I got to do is open up the carb plates, reset those, and then let's see if it starts. Oh, that's the wrong key, maybe. No, that's the right key. Let's see. Why isn't this working? There we go. Okay. Maybe I need to lube that lock a little bit. And here's your parking brake here. When you start this car, you always got to make sure this is on, because for some reason, and this car was designed this way, you need to have the car in neutral here for it to start. If you try parking it, or if you try starting it in park, the car it seems like it's got a dead battery or something. Oh, and here, I forgot to show you, those are factory oil pressure and amp gauges, which are nice to have. So you can tell if your generator's working and stuff. Anyways, let's try to start. Ooh. Yep, sounds like we got a dead battery. Let me open it. This is where the battery is, in here. Okay. I heard a weird noise, so I don't know what that is. Let's see if it's sparking or something. No, that just sounds like it's a dead battery. Well, this is an old battery now. It might just be gone. I don't know. It looks like it's not leaking too badly or anything. Yeah, I think it's just dead. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Well, I will stop the video and I will go get a jump start. And we'll see if we'll get this started. Okay, I am back, and what I did was I took the battery out of the car and put it on the charger for about 4 hours. So hopefully we'll have enough charge here to start the battery now. So let me just close it up again. Put the carpet back over. This is the only car I've ever seen where the battery is like in the footwell of the car. It took me a while to find it, actually, when I first got this car. Okay, we're still neutral. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Oh, we're cranking. Got a little gas. Come on, baby. All right, I'm gonna give it a second here. Open the door here. Let me just double check the engine too. I'm a little worried because when I was charging up the battery, I kind of checked stuff out, and it looked like there had been a rat in here. I found see there's rat poo and shit on there. Oops. Not good. So I hope they didn't chew any wires. That is one thing I'm really afraid of, leaving the car here, just animals get at it and stuff. Close this door again too. Alright, let's give it another try. Worst comes to worst, I'll go grab some starting fluid, but it should start. Usually it just takes a little bit of time for the fuel to get back in the engine. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we got amps. We got amps. We're charging. Good. We got oil pressure. And the engine sounds pretty good. Let's go listen. Here we are, ticking away. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds pretty smooth right now. A lot of times, just because the engine hasn't been run for so long, I'll hear like a little bit of ticking when it's first starting out. But yeah, the engine sounds good. I don't hear a lot of valve knocking or anything. Okay. I don't see any wires sparking from rats chewing on them. That's good. Don't see any oil falling out yet. Yeah, it's dry. All right. I'll just let this warm up a little bit. And this car was actually pretty powerful for the 50s. It's got a 368 cubic inch engine, which makes 300 horsepower. And it would actually be a lot faster, but unfortunately the transmission's only a 2-speed transmission, which is very nice for a luxury car. It's smooth and it shifts pretty slowly, but it's not good for brutal acceleration. But the car's still, you don't feel like you're underpowered or anything, even though the car's so big. And, yeah, I mean, it gets on the freeway fine still. It cruises at freeway speeds very easily. Just driving it around, though, it does feel like an old car. Your brakes are just these big drum brakes all around. And you've just got the single cylinder master cylinder. And, or the single reservoir master cylinder, I should say. So it's a little more unsafe than what we have now in terms of braking. And it's got, the old bias ply tires on it. You don't have radials on it, because I wanted to keep it original. So when you hit like little divots in the road, you really feel it. But other than that, the car just drives smoothly. It's very nice to drive. And it's kind of funny just driving it. You feel like, I don't know, like you're royalty or something. You got this big old hood ornament in the front. And everyone you drive past just looks at you like, what the hell is that thing going down the road? And looks like we still got some gas. That's good. All right. Well, I'm going to take this car out a little later with my wife, and we'll go run some errands in it. And hopefully we won't have any issues. That battery worries me a little bit, but I think it's probably just a little old, and it was just sitting around for a while, and that's why it was dead. I don't think I've got a short or anything like that. But I will keep an eye on it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you like this little show of the 57. And, let me know if you liked her, if you got any questions about the car. They really don't have too many of these cars around anymore. And that's one reason I'm just kind of trying to keep it on the road and keep it going. So other people can see it and just, know what driving cars back in the 50s was kind of like. So that's it. I will see you later.
Tonight in our show, we showed you the new 1957 Lincoln, let you take a good look at it, and now to tell you about the car that's getting the biggest reception in Lincoln's history, here is Julia Meade.
Thank you, Ed. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Lincoln for 1957. The dramatically new car with a distinctive Lincoln identity from every viewpoint. Take first Lincoln's quadrilight grille that commands attention for this car day or night. Lincoln for 1957, is America's first car with 4 headlight designs. Seen from the side, Lincoln's clean, fresh styling gives new meaning to Lincoln beauty with longer, lower, lovelier lines. From the rear also, you cannot mistake Lincoln for any other car. The unique canted blades rise and end in the pyramid taillights. Everyone who has seen this long, low, lovely Lincoln at the dealer's showroom has been so enthusiastic about the magnificent new interior, with the widest selection of colors, rich fabrics, and luxurious leathers in Lincoln's history. Inside, in addition to all the power assist that you naturally expect on a truly fine car, look at a few of the many extra luxuries that 1957 Lincoln offers you. The new 6-way power seat adjusts automatically to any position, even tilts back and forth for your ultimate driving comfort. And this rear view mirror adjusts very easily from the inside. Even the side vent windows are powered. And here the electric door lock on the instrument panel locks all doors at once with just the flick of a switch. And for even greater safety, a light goes on to warn you if all the doors are not properly closed. Inside and out, every dramatically new detail makes Lincoln for 1957 more than ever unmistakably the finest in the fine car field.